Hello everybody, welcome to the Football Insiders, and today I am Matty and we are going to be going through the Football Insiders top 11 Wonder Kids who have flopped or failed to reach their potential. But before we get into the video, make sure you head over to our channel, and if you're not, make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get as much videos as we can out. Now yesterday we put our Champions League predictions video out. Make sure to check that out. That's for the first leg. We will have another one of them coming out for the second leg in a week or two. Tomorrow we're going to continue our tier list series for Premier League players. We've done keepers, we've done right backs. Tomorrow we've got a left back coming out, and then obviously with predictions on Saturday. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell and like our videos so we know to keep going. But anyway, let's get straight into it with the goalkeeper, Joe Hart. At one point in his career, Joe Hart was first choice for Man City and England. Between 2010 and 2015, he was considered one of England's greatest goalkeepers of all time, winning the Premier League twice, FA Cup once, and the Premier League Golden Glove 4 times. However, his career took a turn for the worst after a series of unforgiven errors over the course of 2014-15 and 15-16, caused him to get dropped by Man City and later with the Three Lions. An unsuccessful loan move to Serie A side Torino, followed by Burnley in 2018, where he only came 19 games across the season, aged 33. He didn't have a great spell there either, and now he's currently spending the prime years sat on the bench at Tottenham, where he'll try one last time to rejuvenate his career. Mitrovic was widely considered the most promising defensive prospect in the Premier League after he made his debut for Man City at the tender age of 17. Within a few seasons he became an important member of the first team, which led to Richard becoming nominated for the PFA Player of the Year award after his displays in the 06-07 season. Then he went on to make 179 appearances for the Citizens during a 10-year spell at the club, but he was overshadowed by a major knee injury in 2012-2013, which led him missing the majority of the season. This led to his performances and game time decreasing when he returned from the injury, which led him eventually leaving his boyhood club to join Aston Villa in 2015 to again try and rejuvenate his career. However, Richard's season was hindered by injuries again in a season that he saw Aston Villa go down as one of the worst defences in Premier League history. Richard proceeded to stay at Villa for 2 more years without making a single appearance before retiring at the end of the 2018-19 season at the young age of 31. Now on to our right centre-back is Felipe Cristenval. After breaking into league inside Monaco in 1999, the young centre-back Cristenval was known for his pace, power, skill and composure at the back. He was given the captain's armband in a few matches at the age of only 22. In the same season, he won France's Young Player of the Year award as he captained Monaco to a league title. A dream move to Barcelona followed after his brilliant seasons at Monaco, but that's where it all went wrong for the youngster, as he failed to make any kind of impact. He was released by the Catalans just 2 years later. Spells at Marseille and Fulham followed, however he was released in the latter. Cristenval retired from football in 2009 after being unable to find a club. Now we move on to the left centre-back. We've got Phil Jones in this spot. Phil Jones burst onto the scene as a 17-year-old from Blackburn. In his first season he would make 9 appearances in the Premier League, finishing 10th, and a season later would go on to finish 15th, but he would return and still play 26 games that season. However, after the poor finishes for Blackburn, Jones stood out from the rest, but then he tore a knee cartilage in December, but then he would return and play 26 games that season and still play them in defensive midfielder role, which at this point was unfamiliar to him, as he's not always naturally been a centre-back. He would then go on to sign for Man United for £16.5 million. At the point he joined Man United, he was compared to the likes of Baresi, Hierro and Duncan Edwards for his power and build. In the first season he would make 29 appearances in the Premier League and the following 9 in Europe. His fairy tale over the following years would start to derail as injuries and poor performances would lead him to not becoming the player he was tipped to become. The youngster, tipped by Alex Ferguson to be potentially one of the best players in Man United's history. This would become the player at 28, throws out of the Red squad. He's won 5 major honours so far to remember his time as the Reds, but he is still a Man United player. Now at left back we've decided to put Royston Drenthe. At the young age of 20, highly rated youngster Royston Drenthe was presented as a Real Madrid player alongside Wesley Sneijder, while the latter went on to become one of the all-time greats. Drenthe found his career falling apart with every move he made. Finally, in 2016, just 9 years after signing for the Los Blancos, the left back was released by UAE Pro League side Binas. He was then unable to find a club and decided to retire immediately, but 2 years later Drenthe came out of retirement. The earlier he signed for a new deal at Dutch 3rd Division side Kozakken Boys, where he's still currently playing, but it's safe to say he's unable to live up to any sort of potential the fans had him as on the Real Madrid side over a decade ago. And now again in the midfield. In the centre defensive midfielder role, even though most of his career is known as a more advanced midfielder, we've put him in defensive midfield. We've got Jack Wilshere, tipped to be one of the greatest midfielders as a youngster coming through the Arsenal academy system. Would make his first appearance at the age of 16 in the 2009-2010 season. Wilshere would be shipped on loan to Bolton, where he would make 14 appearances the following season. He would then make 35 appearances as Arsenal would go on to the AFL Cup final, losing to Birmingham City. The next he would miss is through injury, which was one of the main downfalls of Jack Wilshere's career, and then the injury phase would start. He would either pick up little injuries, costing him games, some costing most of the season. In an effort to regain, he tried picking up his career in 2016. He went on a loan move to Bournemouth, where he would consistently play games. He would switch London clubs and then head to West Ham, where he'd make 19 appearances over 2 seasons before he was released, again down to a lot of injuries. He would eventually head to Bournemouth after being released from West Ham in nearly 10 years and making 197 appearances in all competitions for Arsenal. And in midfield we have got Bojan. Now everyone knows Bojan. He's probably one of the highest potential players, Wonderkids, on this list. So does the next Messi by coaches, the La Liga Messiah Wonderkid burst onto the scene for Barcelona as a 17-year-old, making his debut against Osasuna 34 days later. He will make his first start for Barcelona away to Villarreal and subsequently go on to score in that game. The heir to the throne was born. Over the overcoming seasons, he would make a name for himself, grabbing 10 goals on his debut season. Bojan would start a light on fire to other clubs around Europe in 2011. He would then leave the Blaugrana to move to Italy in an attempt to make his own future of the shadow of an icon. In the first season, he would grab 7 goals, but would be shipped on loan to Milan, where the goals would start to dry up. He would eventually have a buyback clause activated and would head back to Barca at age 22 now. At this point, he would be shipped on loan to Ajax for more game time. He would then find himself in a place now needing to rebuild his career and would want to move to Stoke City. At Stoke, it's never got going for him. In 2019, he calls it quits and moved to Montreal. A man who had so much potential, held back by injuries, struggled to adapt in different settings. Next, we've got Ravel Morrison in midfield. The exciting youngster would come through the ranks at Man United, signing his first professional deal in the February of 2010. The youngster would impress a lot of the people at United, even going so far to impress Alex Ferguson. He would make his debut aged 18 in a League Cup against Wolves. In his first 2-year first team spell, he wouldn't make an appearance down to attitude problems. The attitude problems would be persistent down his career. Ferguson at this time favoured him over the likes of Pogba, who would make a club return for 89 million. Morrison would move to West Ham, where he would make an appearance but also shipping on loan at this time to the Hammers. He would switch to Italy in an attempt to finally focus on playing well consistently. This would not happen as he was shipped on loan to QPR for the second time in his career. The Atlas in Mexico, he'll then sign for Sheffield United and ADO most recently. His career would be consistently troubled down to his own personal demons, just down to his attitude problems and his lack of ethics or work rate, leading him to being without a club at 28, should be in his prime. And for our front three, we've picked 3 strikers. We're going to start with the man Mario Balotelli, probably the one that everyone watching this video will 100% have heard of or know. A man who may not have lived up to what he could have become. A man who, without fans, good moments, he's got moments and iconic times people will never forget. Balotelli would become named for Inter Milan, winning the gold. He won the Golden Boy in 2010. After winning the Golden Boy in 2010, he'd make a switch to Manchester City, where he was involved in one of the Premier League's greatest and most iconic moments ever, assisting Sergio Aguero as City go on to win the Premier League in 2012 after Martin Tyler created the commentary moments in history. Balotelli Aguero. After not scoring consistently for Man City, he then moved to Milan in the summer of 2012 and would score 26 league goals in 2 seasons. He would make the switch to Liverpool in the summer of 2014, where again it just wouldn't work, and neither would a loan to Milan the season after. However, he would find a move to Nice, where the mid-table French team, and he would start to score goals after helping Nice develop at the time. He was with players like Saint-Maximin, where in one season he would score 26 goals in all competitions combined. He would then leave for Marseille and Brescia in Serie B. And most recently, Monza, who are now also in Serie B. Saying this man was more than football, often known for his crazy off the field antics and appearing in magazines for dress sense. Yeah, he was known for his moments, but he was never able to live up to the hype and ability he was set as a youngster. And as our second striker, we have Freddie Adu. Now, he was dubbed as the next Pele. Freddie Adu is one of the most famous examples on how loads of talent alone doesn't help you have a successful career in the game. At the age of 14, Adu was putting pen to paper on a sponsorship deal with Nike worth over $700,000, making his professional debut in the MLS. Interest from teams like Manchester United followed the issues, including him not being able to get a work permit because he was to Europe because he was only 14. He then finally gained access, signing from Benfica at the age of 18. However, it didn't work out for him as he got shipped out on 2 unsuccessful loan spells. Eventually, he peaked at the age of 25, and he's currently the age of 30 playing in 3rd tier Swedish football. And lastly, we have got Alexandre Pato. At the age of 19, Pato had already established himself as the European champions, AC Milan starting striker, and had 3 caps for his national team, Brazil. He looked set to be Milan's star number 9 for years to come. However, now at the age of 31, Pato is without a club, spending unsuccessful spells in China and his home country for Brazil. Injuries undeniably robbed Pato of his pace, which once terrorised defenders, but his attitude is also being questioned, particularly during his disastrous stint at the Corinthians. But yeah, that's going to be the end of our top 11 wonder kids who never reached their potential or flopped. I hope you've enjoyed this video. There's got a lot of research that's gone into this and a lot of planning. We plan to do some more videos like this, where we pick 11 players who some sort of topic or some team or some sort of top 11 like this. But tomorrow a tier list video comes out, so again, make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you can see all the videos. A lot of content coming out soon, and yeah, I will see you in the next video.